Hello, it is December the 31st, the last day of 2023. I'm not going to be doing a whole year wrap-up right now. I'm just going to do my December wrap-up and then lunch and then work. So let's get into it. Let's go back and review the goals I set for myself this month and how they work out. Number one is time with Ja. I really do feel we need to figure out some way of actually spending time doing stuff together. I've got my ideas and I need to kind of consult with Ja on that. But yeah, we found kind of doing a lunch at the water on the weekend is too expensive, is like, you know, buying something and going there. So we need to figure out some other thing that is kind of a weekly check-in that way. We do kind of hang out in the kitchen and chat a bit in the mornings. That is good. Yeah, it's something where I think there is some more work that needs to get done there, and I can feel it this month. Number two is walking daily with the dogs and Jackie. That definitely happened every day, except for we had a week in there of snow, so it got nuked then. But other than that, we're really consistent in doing that. Hopefully Ja will actually join us in that coming in the new year. We can only hope. Number four is a late night snack, which has gotten a little bit better. I put the L's up on the board to kind of try and keep myself aware of it. There's a lot of circled L's versus crossed out. Crossed out would mean I actually had a light snack versus a heavier snack. And there's a fair number of circled L's there, but it's making progress. It is making progress, and I will keep up with that. Phone and earbud hygiene. That's keeping the phone and my earbuds in here, not taking them into the bedroom. I'm solid on that. That has really worked well for me. That's another calendar thing where I put a B and I cross out the B every time I accomplish that for a night, and I've done that every single night of this month, which is great. Number six, work on time. Yeah, for the most part, I'm definitely getting there just on time kind of guy. It'd be better if I was like 5 minutes early. That would be much better. So I can still do some more thing. Number seven is doing my daily physio exercises. Which yes, I've definitely been doing my physio exercises every single day for the most part. I think, is there any E's that, I think there might be one in there somewhere. Yes, there was one Saturday where I can't remember if that's just because that might have been the Nova incursion that it didn't happen. Yeah, there's two things that happened this month that kind of made things a little bit feel a little bit wonky. One was got visited by my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, niece. That was like, that was super fun, but that probably messed up things a bit. And then there was the whole just week of snow, which, you know, I ended up being snowed at home, so you think you get more done. It's like, no, that's never the case. Got probably less done on that. So yeah. So number 8 is my BookTube channel, which I did put out my Secrets of the Flesh review. I did put out my waffle video. I think I did. I haven't checked back. I'm pretty sure those are the two ones I did. So I relogged back on to the channel on December the 4th, published those videos, and then I was off. I'm off again. It probably took me a little bit longer to get back off. I had a little bit of a week in there where I was kind of putting up the videos and responding to any comments that came in. Not very many comments came in for those videos. The next thing was to continue to make review videos, of which I've done some. I have done some, but not a lot, and I haven't edited them. So we're at the end of the month, and I've not like got a whole stockpile of videos to chunk out in January, which I guess, you know, we'll see what we do there. I want to make narrow subject videos on books. I'm sort of in the process of doing that. The first one I was thinking about first was a witches video, but I never finished the book because the book just didn't pull me. So I put the book down, and really that's all I would have to say about the book is, well, I put it down. Indeed, there's been another nonfiction book, The Immense World, which is actually a really interesting book, but it's just kind of a blizzard of facts all all organized around a subject, but it just, I just drifted away from it. I couldn't keep a hold on it. My Orlando Furioso, I'm gathering notes for hopefully a short video, though I'm questioning whether I have anything to say about the subject other than it's just an interesting thing. I might just make notes and see what comes up there. Maybe I'll make notes for this one subject, which is very much kind of the feminization of men and how that disempowers them in Orlando Furioso. But to have anything to say other than, oh, I noticed this, I don't know. So we'll see. Then we go on to my writing, which is finishing Duffel Puff, which my goals were to A, write daily, which I have been writing daily. B, to make a list of scenes to get to the end, print out, and tick them off as I go. I have the scenes. I should really tick them off and see where how far along I am. I'm hopefully far enough along. God, some of these it looks like I'm not very far at all, which is depressing. I might have a whole another month of duffel puffing. You know, a part of that is the problem. I got distracted writing all these little short erotic stories in the month, which I think was just a way of me procrastinating away from the main story. That I'm in that dread stage of like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore kind of thing. It's like, no, I should really buckle down and do it, because the more you drift away from this story, the less I want to do it. I don't want to leave it unfinished. So one way or the other, I'm going to finish it, and then I'm probably going to be it's another classic NaNoWriMo thing where I'm just so sick of writing at that point that I stop writing altogether. Well, we'll address those feelings in my January themes video going forward, because I think that's something to do. For that, it's like up at 7:30 for one session a day, and bed at midnight. It's still, I've kept it basically to getting up at kind of 7:30ish, getting writing in before I go for a walk, and then I come back here and I'll do another writing session before heading off to work. And that seems to be a natural pattern for me. If I can just, I am going to my commitment is to try and focus on, no, my commitment is to focus on Duffel Puff and get Duffel Puff done, and say to other ideas or thoughts that come into my head, put them away for later. Put them away for later. Now, I made an ideas file to quickly jot down things, but the idea file quickly turned into just writing out the whole goddamn story file, which means the idea file for this month is larger than the actual writing I did for Duffel Puff, which is, you know, why I'm so behind in my writing on the main story. But yeah, the schedule's worked out. Video journaling my progress has not happened at all, other than me making kind of brief mentions of it in my dark videos at the end of the day. I'll offhandedly mention, oh, I didn't write any more Duffel Puff today. Oh, I didn't write any more Duffel Puff today. So maybe it would be handy to have a video check-in once a week, a la my no ums videos. Just a little writing update of how it's going, just to keep myself accountable that way, and to kind of keep more thoughtful on that process. That's something to think about, to note down for next month. And that, I think, is my first genuine idea for next month, that I should actually just kind of jot that down on a spare piece of paper. What is that? Yes, that's a good spare piece of paper. So, January ideas. A weekly writing vid check-in. Okay, we'll put that on there. That's a good idea, I think. We'll see. I'll let you know at the end of January. Number 11 is doing daily tasks. Keep doing the keep note thing, which I've actually have been taking advantage. It's been spotty, but I'm back on the wagon, and that definitely helps me get stuff done in the month, which I really appreciate. Number 12 is raking / winter garden cleanup. That hasn't actually come up that much. There's been definitely, it was definitely shoveling a lot of snow out of the way. So I definitely had I put in a lot of work on stuff outside. I think Jackie is going to have various tasks and things that we're going to kind of get started on, gearing up for the spring and stuff like that coming forward. So that's something I'll keep on my to-do list for January. But it was more snow shoveling than it was anything for this month. Number 13, vocal improvements. I kept up with my, for the most part, my no ums videos. I think I did those every week. Just that's my mindfulness check-in for working on my vocal expression, which has been good. I've done vocal videos, vocal study videos using Patsy Rodenberg's The Need for Words. Each week, sort of on Thursday or somewhere in there, I do yet another exercise from the book, and I've just been slowly working my way through the exercises, which I think has been a valuable way to do that. And I think I've actually found certain techniques, certain practices, like, oh, this resonates. And I think by the time I get to the end here, I'm really going to go through each one of those videos and say, okay, well, what was the stuff that I really want to keep? What do I really want to review? And do kind of a wrap up on Patsy Rodenberg's book, because I think that was quite usable that way. Oh, and I did do one with another fellow, just kind of just to give myself a break 1 week. I think it was because it was a particularly onerous, large exercise that Rodenberg wanted to do. So I took a break 1 week and did one which was talking about what things can you do to improve your speech from this fellow. One of them was removing visual clutter, like making a lot of unnecessary gestures or repetitive gestures or your physical tics, which, you know, was an interesting video, and I was like, oh, that's good, and I'll try and remember that, and then I've completely forgotten it again. So that was one. There was also, you know, keeping all the stutters out from all your words, the stuttering, the umming, the awing, the filler words, which I struggle with always, but that was useful. Didn't do any anxiety videos. Checking. Hi, Theo. Is there someone home? Yeah, let's pause and see. Okay, there's nobody outside. Hopefully no one has to do anything, because he's got his own goals for next month, and one of them is not peeing or pooping inside the house. That is a goal for you, Theo. But that's Theo's goal check-in video. I'll let him do that. He gets way better numbers than I do. I did not do any anxiety videos this month. Except if you might just call all my dark videos anxiety videos. That, yes, it's not a part of my schedule, so I haven't done it. So if I want to do that thing, if I think that would be useful, to just do a little emotional check-in on a bi-weekly basis, I need to put that on a calendar. So I'm going to put that down as just a prompt for myself. Angst vids, bi-weekly. If so, schedule. Somebody's wandering around in such a way that I don't trust you, so I'm going to hold on to you because I don't think we're too much further. Oh yes, and you know, in December, I've been continually having this thing of, should I change my my vocal exercises? Are they getting stale? Which is quite the possibility. And yet I've just not had the energy or the gumption to do it. I have a feeling that probably what's going to happen is I'm going to finish the Duffel Puff sometime in January. I swear to God I will. And at that point, I will change. It's like, yeah, Finn, Duffel Puffs, and change vocal exercises, or refresh them. That is definitely going to be coming up. Definitely coming up with in the thing. Number 14 is to make a 2023 themes ideas document to add to, put on the count, to put on, well, I did put it on the calendar. What are things I would like to do better? What do I enjoy doing? What makes me unhappy? And consulting the Cortex themes episode, because they talk about this idea of not making New Year's resolutions, but making general themes for your year, to give you kind of a focus and an idea of what you are going to do. And order an at-a-glance calendar or make my own picture, because yeah, I'm so frustrated with calendars of just, I don't like any of the pictures particularly that they have with them. So I'm just going to get a straight at-a-glance calendar. I'll put that up, and then I'll put up my own picture, or not even have a picture, because at the moment I've got the scene list for all my Duffelpuff story there. So I'm going to do that. And number 15 was Ja and me doing future planning, which we did a bit, and then we never went back to it. But so we did do it. We did talk about it as a thought. And it's just a matter of having the emotional energy, both of us, to be able to do that kind of planning of, we're going to get old, we're going to die, but before we die, we're going to need help, and how to plan for that going forward. I mean, we're both in our 50s at the moment, but you know, 50s, and then you get 60s, 70s. It's like, you never know what life is going to come, what's going to come next, what major life changes might put us out of this house at some point in the next 10 years. Who knows? We shall see. So yeah, that is my check-in for December. It was, I feel kind of, I think because of not doing videos, I feel kind of dissatisfied with it, but it was also just a way of me taking a good break from BookTube, which I think has been good for me. I have not gone back once, like when I say I'm not like on BookTube, it's like I have this account that has its own subscriptions, and none of those subscriptions are to BookTube channels, and I haven't gone to BookTube channels for the most part, except for when I was looking up a review of Daryl, which point I watched a couple of BookTubers talking about Daryl, but I just watched them through this lens. But other than that, I've just stayed out of that world, and I think that's been okay for me. I think, especially with how I've been feeling, BookTube would have just made me feel worse, and that's not to say anything bad about the people. That is totally got to do with just how I'm maybe not feeling the greatest about myself, and there's something about watching other regular people who are, you know, kind of together, or at least more together than I am. I know we're all fucked up in our own different ways, but yeah. So that is December, my December wrap up. Next thing that'll happen is my January goals. One of the goals, which will be to work on the overall themes for 2023. I'm not doing that as a New Year's Day. It's not a New Year's resolution. It's more of an overarching kind of just themes for the year, which will be separate from the goals. The themes thing will hopefully help me shape my goals, my more concrete goals month per month, and me checking them in. All right. I've been Jay. I'm going to go take this creature outside because he might be needing to explode, you know, or hopefully not explode, but, you know, do stuff outside. All right. Bye.